Hello, everybody. Today we're going to go over some of the reasons that you think an avoidant doesn't love you, even though you do. And I'm talking about it from the perspective of trying to validate your feelings. We're going to make more videos on how to adjust these things and fix these things. And I have videos on my channel about that. But today I just want to talk about why you feel the way that you do. Even if actually your partner does love you, you are still stuck in a lot of these things. Actually, with a lot of the couples I work with, even years after the avoidant kind of has changed or has adjusted these things, their partner still does not fully trust them because these are the foundations early on the relationship that the partner, right? Let's say we have a dismissive avoidant wife and a fearful avoidant husband, right? And the dismissive avoidant, she did a lot of these things, especially in the beginning of the relationship. And now, especially because he's a fearful avoidant, let's say they've been married for like 10 years. He still doesn't know or believe fully that she loves him because he remembers all these memories and she's never said sorry for them. She's never clarified. She just kind of healed and moved on from them and just kind of expected him to get with the program. And so that is like a very specific case. But that's what this kind of video is. We're talking about those specific times where an avoidant does something that makes you believe they don't love you and you're kind of stuck on that, even though now it's kind of more obvious they love you, but you haven't moved on from what they did. And so we're going to talk about what they did that made you feel like that, just so you can get some of that pressure off yourself to try and force yourself to believe an avoidant loves you, even though you kind of know they do, but they kind of are the one that made you feel like that. So just understanding that, and maybe you can tell them this is why I still have trouble with X, Y, and Z. Okay. So the very first one is a lot of avoidance in the beginning of their relationship, especially. They say they don't like saying they love someone. And even in long-term marriages, I've told you guys this before. I have couples that have been together for like years, like 12 years. And the dismissive avoidant does not say they love the other person. And the other person just accepts that. Like they're not happy with it, but they're like, I know, he or she's never going to tell me that, or they might not tell me it that often, so I just don't even care. And it's kind of an unfortunate situation. Obviously, they're in couples therapy, and a lot of them, when they come to couples therapy, they're trying to work on things. And those are one of the things that we have to tackle because it's not healthy. Avoidants don't say it. So how are you really going to know? Often it's because they feel very awkward with it. They feel unfamiliar. A lot of parents of dismissive avoidance and fearful avoidance, but especially dismissive avoidance, never said, I love you. They're not familiar with it. It's a very vulnerable feeling to say, I love you. Some of them might be comfortable saying love you or I care about you, but I love you is like very uncomfortable for a lot of them. They also have this belief, which I don't think a lot of people know. And this one might be, this is particular for dismissive avoidance. Some fearful avoidance do this, but this part is a little bit more particular for dismissive avoidance. They actually believe the strongest love is the one that is action exclusive. So like it's almost all action and no direct words. Like they think that means the most love because they think it means there's no lies. It's 100% honest. And dismissive avoidance particularly, are really uncomfortable with dishonesty in relationships. Like a lot of them demand honesty and they're very direct and blunt. Not all of them are like this, but a lot of them are because they don't believe that dishonesty of any sort can be trusted to save a relationship. And in their mind, they feel like most words are dishonest. To some extent. They're afraid if I say I love you and then one day I don't love you for whatever frightening reason, I lied to you and then you're going to leave or then our relationship will end. But if I show you I love you, that I can't lie because that's my action. That's how I felt in the moment. But I don't want to declare something and then later have to take it back. I know it sounds strange, but that's the main reason why most dismissive avoidants will not say they love you. And one of their biggest fears is that they say they love you and they actually don't, which is irrational. But avoidants are very uncomfortable with that. And so they don't want to set themselves up for failure, like we talked about on this channel multiple times. One of their biggest fears is failure. So they don't want to say that to you, get your hopes up, and then hurt you, okay? The next one is that they don't like to label relationships as quickly as other attachment styles. Again, more particular with dismissive avoidance. And so that's why you don't know they love you, because you guys have been together for like 7 years and you're not a boyfriend. You're just a guy who lives with her and she's committed to you and you guys don't do anything with anyone else and you're practically married, but there is no label, right? There's no label at all. And It's not because she doesn't love you, she does. It's not because she's friend zoning you. You guys are in a legit relationship, kissing, hugging, intimacy, whatever it is. It's just they don't like the label because, again, especially with dismissive avoidance, they don't want to admit, like they're afraid that one day they have to take it back. Or if they have to break up with you or you have to break up with them, in their mind they will think, oh wow, I labeled this, I thought this was everything, and it was never real. I'm such a failure, I'm so stupid, how could I have made that mistake? But if not, they can, if you did break up or leave them, they'll say, well, you know what, that's why I was cautious about not calling you my boyfriend, because I knew one day you'd leave me, even though it's not true. But that's what they tell themselves to comfort their fear, okay? The next one is that avoidance, especially with fearful avoidance, way more common with fearful avoidance, sometimes they're jealous and they pretend not to be, or they deny it. And that's frustrating to you because it makes you feel like you're crazy and you're not. But you notice that they're jealous and they're denying it. They're pretending they're not, but it's very, very obvious that they are. And that makes you feel like they don't love you, because jealousy, not all the time, jealousy is not always healthy, but it does come from a form of attachment and possessiveness. And jealousy usually shows up if a person doesn't want to admit that they care about you, right? Feeling protective and territorial is a little different from jealousy. Often what I notice is people who feel more jealous is because they don't want to admit that they haven't openly admitted that you guys are, you know, in love or in a relationship or whatever it is. And so fearful avoidance especially struggle with jealousy a lot. And what they actually do is they try not to pretend that they're jealous because they're trying to deny the feelings for you, which makes you feel very confused, okay? The next one is they struggle to take accountability. And that makes you feel like they don't love you because you feel like if they wanted to make you happy or save the relationship or protect what you guys have, they would take accountability, say sorry, or try and change something. But the fact that they're not, and they're making you cry or make you confused, or they're digging their heels in something and denying it, it makes you feel like you're not loved or appreciated because they're not trying to fix whatever's bothering you. The next one is because they're afraid to lose you, they suppress their feelings. So this makes it really confusing because there are feelings, but you just can't see it as prominently. For fearful avoidance, they may give in to these powerful emotions, but they feel overwhelmed by them or insecure by them, so they push away or push you away. And so that's why that hot and cold dynamic is more common with fearful avoidance. For a dismissive avoidance, they keep you at arm's length, but they slowly get closer to you over time. So they're a little bit easier to show that they love you over time. With fearful avoidance, sometimes they can stay in that push-pull dynamic for years. Because you have to remember, fearful avoidants tend to have a higher, they actually do, they score higher on the adverse childhood experiences scale and assessment. And so they have a lot of things going on, not just fear. A lot of them are afraid of so many things that might not have anything to do with the relationship, but the triggers are appearing in the relationship. So that shows up. And the last reason why you feel like your avoidant partner doesn't love you, even though they do, is they don't fight for the relationship. And usually they fight for it when more trust is built or when more healing is done. But especially in the beginning, they're not fighting for it. It makes you feel really confused. So these are some of the reasons that you feel like an avoidant doesn't love you. I, of course, will make more videos expanding upon each of these points in the future, but this is just a introduction. Now let's summarize and then we'll wrap it up. The first reason is avoidants don't like saying they love you. The next one is they don't label relationships typically as quickly as other attachment styles. The next one is they're jealous and they pretend to not be. The fourth one is they struggle to take accountability. The fifth one is that they're actually afraid to lose you, so they suppress their feelings, which means you can't really see them. And the sixth one, as well as the last one, is they don't fight for the relationship until more trust is built. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.